sponsored by Where to Shop and Dine. Download the app on Google Play Store or Apple App Store today. Connecting colleges and communities. Hi, I'm Maya McNulty. I've recently been nominated for Leukemia Lymphoma Woman of the Year, and I'm hosting a soccer tournament for the Boy and the Girl of the Year, trying to raise some money for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. Lucas is 3 and Kendra is 17 and she goes to Shen. I'm hosting a 3v3 soccer tournament at Sportsplex in Half Moon on Sunday, May 1st from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. We'll have prizes and games. It's a 3v3. Adults children from age 8 on up to adults, your company can play. Again, you can register at upyourvoice.com. Just click on the donation link, upyourvoice.com. It's $150 per team. 100% of that does go to the Leukemia Lymphoma Society to fight blood cancer. It's Sunday, May 1st from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Prizes, raffles, trophies for the winning team. So get involved. I'm Maya McNulty, Leukemia Lymphoma. Please, we need your support. Hi, you're watching Scene TV, and I'm Maya McNulty, your host. Schenectady Cable Entertainment News and Events. We have a great story today about our millennials. Our millennial CEO and founder of Mission Accomplished Transition Service, Carmen Duncan. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So this is really trending. Some great information. You've got some great services that you're offering here at Mission Accomplished Transition Services. So let's get your story, and then we'll be able to talk about some of the events that you have coming up and the things that your business is doing as a 501c3.
Okay. Perfect. Well, I'll start out with my teenage years and why I decided to work with our young and mature millennials. At 16, I moved up to Albany. My mother sent me up here because I was fighting all the time in the city of Poughkeepsie. At that time, I had a lot going on in my family. I was losing family members, and I really just didn't know how else to emote. And also, I realized that some of my peers would accept me more if I was fighting. So that's what I did.
Oh, you're being submissive to peer pressure.
Yes.
At a young age, that often happens because
Yes.
we're so vulnerable.
Yep, certainly. Okay. And also culturally, to cry and you're in a high stress environment. It's just, you need to figure it out. Like, being a crybaby about it it's not going to get you anywhere.
Yeah, you got to be tough.
Right.
So
I moved up here. Mom sent me up here with my dad, and within the time that I was up here with my father, there were some family challenges, and I ended up in a homeless situation. And I was referred to Equinox. I lived in an independent living program for 36 months, and my parents were very supportive, and they used the tools that they had to support me with the growth that I needed at that time. So I definitely do not look at it as they failed me. They did what they could with what they had. And when I went into the transitional living program, I was paired with an amazing caseworker. Her name is Kay Ware. And at that time, her name was Kay Hogan. And she just invested in me like a true parent. So I had my parents, and then I had her, who was investing in me, and then I had all these other coaches and mentors in my life who just seen the potential in me and seen the eyes bright and wanting to do something, but didn't have a clue. I didn't know how to get from point A to point B, or to point Z, for that matter. And nor did I really believe that I was worth it. So I was doing things that I was in an environment where I did the things that I felt that people were going to accept me for. Mm-hmm. And then at some point, I said that this is enough. Like I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. And because of my mentors and coaches who were in my life and who invested their time, talent, and treasure into me, I now feel that it is my duty to now invest my time, talent, and treasure into millennials.
I
to
love how
support
you
them.
said that. So you've come with experience, 10 years experience in the human services and development of program. So tell us about that and that experience, how this has nurtured you into this next leap of journey that you're on to.
When I was 23, I graduated with a bachelor's in science and psychology from Sage Colleges of Albany. And within a week of receiving my degree, I was promoted to management with a company that I was working with. So I now was over 2 programs for individuals who have developmental disabilities and up to 15 staff. So I had 7 permanent staff, and then I had some per diem staff. And that really gave me an opportunity to realize, like, I could do this. I can manage people.
You're blazing trails. Absolutely.
I can manage people, and I can keep a program going. And then once I was in grad school, I was referred to a local executive for a foster care agency. And just in having conversation with him, he offered me an opportunity to be his assistant. And he was the chief operating officer. And his focus was to do some redesign around programming for youth in the foster care system and supporting them with the transition out. So that really helped me with understanding the mechanics of transition for all people at any time in their life, but of course specifically for young people. So I really was able to develop those research skills, understanding the importance of research methods, evaluation, understanding the difference between qualitative and quantitative data points, and how to explain them and how to tell a data-driven story. So as a CEO, I have to tell data-driven stories sometimes for people to understand how we're making an impact. So those positions really leveraged me. And then I was at another agency where I was able to create, I was able to design, I was able to use strategic methods to figure out how to develop a life skill development program that would really support foster youth in a foster care agency and foster care system with transitioning out. So once again, I was able to strengthen those skills. I was able to learn how to work with directors and communicate and learn the culture and climate of an organization.
I love the story that you're creating to be. It's just beautiful. It's excellent. What is the mission of Mission Accomplished Transition Services?
To prepare aspiring young professionals for the global economy by providing access to job training, coaching, and professional development. So our peer focus is on soft skill development for millennials. So schools, they're able to say, here's your textbook, learn all this stuff. You know, they talk about, schools definitely talk about the importance of soft skill development, but our primary focus is soft skill development with a little bit of the technical skills so that people can learn how to, make a plant, or learning how to, for our upcoming program, which is the fashion edition, learn how to design a t-shirt, and work collaboratively with someone and come up with a vision. So there's some of that in there, but definitely the soft skill development and learning how to collaborate.
So you're really hands-on. You have a lot of different programs. What are some of the programs that you have other than the fashion and the soft skills and educational programs? Do you have any of those in workshops?
Yes. So we have a higher education prep series that's purely focused on how to prepare for the college or vocational environment.
Okay.
So what does it mean to be a student on a campus for the first day? What does it mean to be a student who's in high school who's preparing to go into a college or a vocational, some type of apprenticeship program to be a construction worker? What does that mean? What do those steps look like? Okay, so you understand A, you cannot jump to Z. Doesn't work that way. So let's figure out your beginning, your middle, and your end.
So you have to have a plan.
Right.
And it's got to be written out. And so you're kind of like an advisor. Is that one of your roles as the CEO of Mission Accomplished Transition Services?
Yeah, so I serve as a coach as well as, as the head of the organization. I work more with the 20 plus age group. And then Chelsea, my transition coach, works with the teenagers.
So are you considered a nonprofit, or is this a business for profit? How does this work? What's the operations?
It's a not-for-profit.
Okay, explain that.
And we established as a not-for-profit organization because we recognize that there are individuals who live in certain households or come from certain socioeconomic backgrounds who cannot afford to pay what it costs to have a coach. And we didn't want to discriminate against anyone because they do not have the financial resources, but they have the same desire, they have the same drive, and they have the same vision. So it was really important to us to be able to serve as a charity and as a resource to someone's family who may make $1 million or someone's family who only makes $100 a week. We all want to be something
Million a
greater.
week.
Or
a
year or $1 million a year. But everyone has a vision for their future, and everyone wants to be successful.
Of course.
And no one
Well,
should have
success is
barriers
measured in
to that.
different standards. I don't think that there's just one standard or formula for success. Everyone, I mean, you going from your transition from Poughkeepsie to Albany is a big success for you. You graduating with your master's from Sage is a huge accomplishment. You blazed the trail for so many millennials that and setting the foundation. It's very commendable. It's a great story. So let's talk about the millennials. Let's talk about them because they're you. So how do you like being in the job force, and what are some of the challenges, your struggles? What are you coming up with?
Oh boy. I hear that millennials, sometimes people will say that we're lazy. Sometimes people will say we just want what we want. We don't want to pay our dues. Some people would say that we're flighty because we may go from one job to the next. And from my seat, we're risk takers. So we're not afraid to leave a job if it doesn't gel with our own personal and professional vision and what we define as success. We don't want to be there. So we have a lot of resources that people didn't have years ago. So we can, if we're unhappy with a position, we have a smartphone and we can look for a position whenever we need to, right? It's not something where it's like, oh, I have to go to the Department of Labor and look at this position and there's this whole process. It's just not that way. And we are glad to have that. I'm going to say that on behalf of everybody. I mean, we have access and we're visionaries. There's so many individuals in my network who have established their own businesses, who are in the process of establishing their own businesses. And if the business is not them being an entrepreneur and having their own establishment where they serve as the owner or the CEO, they are entrepreneurs. Because we do have the resources and we're very focused on how can we make something better? How can we make this more socially conscious? How can we support getting out of some of these ailments that we're in right now? So, I mean, we have a lot of benefit, and we have the luxury of transitioning when we want to, for the most part. And I mean, if people want to hate on that, I don't know what to tell them.
They might be joining you because they want to find out what your secret formula is and your competitive edge. So you're definitely charitable and very passionate about being charitable. You have a very charitable heart. So what does this mean when someone says that to you?
It's just, it's giving the way that you know how, not the way that someone may project onto you. This is the way that you give because this is the way that I gave. No, it doesn't work that way. This is the way I give because this is the way I feel comfortable giving. And my way of giving is professional development. I think that it's really important for people to be comfortable in their own skin as a young professional, whether you're 13 or you're 33. Because we're all going to be in a professional world at some point.
Of course.
And a professional world doesn't always mean corporate. Your professional world could be on a construction site.
Could be your sports team.
Exactly. It could be here in this office.
Or at school. There's a way to behave.
Yeah.
There's a code of conduct.
Yeah.
So
there's the understanding how to market yourself, knowing how to assert yourself, knowing how to support your own vision and not allow someone else to be a dream catcher. Those are all very important, because if you do not have those skill sets, you could find yourself being very unhappy, but you may be financially stable. But if you're unhappy while you have those finances, does it really matter?
What's your role again with the nonprofit at Mission Accomplished Transition Services?
I am the CEO and founder.
Okay. And as the CEO and founder, we do soup to nuts, right? I'm an entrepreneur and I do soup to nuts to, make my business work. How do you get your message out there so that people can hear your message and learn about your 501c3, your nonprofit?
People like you who believe in me and believe in the mission of Mission Accomplished enough to want to help us accomplish our mission. So if there aren't people like you who have access to a TV show, who want to bring me here as someone a part of my team, we can't get it out there. And life is all about who's going to support you and how you're going to support them.
Yeah.
So it's people like you and the people who are watching the show.
Yeah, they can definitely make a difference. How do we get in contact with you?
You may call me at 518-207-0209, or you may email us at inquire@M as in mission, A as in accomplished, transitionservices.org.
Super. So this is your full-time job.
Yep.
Okay. And how do you align yourself with other team members that are higher level of support and you want to gain their knowledge and grow from that? How do you align yourself with that as your team?
People who are within my team?
Or just in general, you're looking to start and raise some money in a specific organization and you're reaching out to them. And so what's your competitive edge? Why will people do business with you? Because if you're saying the millennials, oh, this is our quote unquote, we think you're lazy, we think you're, all those things, which I don't, but how do you get to align yourself with that? Because people have a misconception of what millennials are and taking the risk, and then you're starting a 501c3. How are they investing in you? What's your competitive edge that's saying, okay, you know what, I want to learn from them because they're smart people?
Okay. Well, our competitive edge is that we design industry specific programs. So we're not just focused on everyone networks this way. It's more of, okay, so you're in a marketing environment. How do you network in a marketing environment? So people understand the language within your environment, because our language is different,
of course,
depending on what we're talking about. And if I want you to understand me, I need to know how to talk to you. And we're very much focused on the abilities and the capacities of millennials and how they can assert themselves in the professional world. So that in itself, I feel like gives us creates a level of uniqueness. And I also recruit millennials to work within Mission Accomplished, whether it's as an intern or as a paid position, so that millennials are learning from millennials. So there may be a 25-year-old and a 15-year-old, so that 25-year-old is investing in that 15-year-old. So this way they're able to relate.
And what's the age again for millennials? Is it still 18 to 35, or have we changed that?
It's anyone who is born between 1980s up into the 2000s.
Okay. So the 2000 is the cuff for it.
Yeah.
All right. What advice do you have for millennials?
Just do it. I know I sound like Nike, but my advice to millennials are, we, in a certain sense, I feel like we kind of run the world because when it comes to marketing, the marketing teams, we're impulsive with spending because some of us do not have families. So we have this disposable income. So people are marketing to us so that we can spend with them, which means that, we say that money rules the world. So really, in a sense, we influence the way that people are marketing to us, which means that we have some level of power when it comes to massaging the way that things happen in our world. And I don't know if a lot of millennials recognize the power that they have. And if we band together, the impact that we could have. So student loan debt is an example. So a lot of people are walking around with a lot of student loan debt. If we were to band together as millennials, this is the impact this has on us. And we really want to continue to we want to be self-sufficient. We don't want to graduate.
And you want education, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We want to have access. So there's people right now who do not have access because of the price tag to education. So if we have, as millennials, band together and start to provide a consistent message, whether it's to corporations, if it's to the higher education system, like we can't afford this, but you want us to be great. We have to work together, like higher ed, and we have to work together. Let's figure this out. So I would say to millennials, you are extremely powerful. You do run a certain piece of the world, and we need to band together in order to share our message and to encourage people to support us in a different way.
So you have some workshops and events coming up. Let's talk about those so that you can educate people to have them come in and do your workshops.
We have the Fashion Edition coming up. It starts on May 9th and it ends on June 28th. It's a 7-week intensive career development program for individuals who are 18 and older and looking to take on a career in the fashion industry. And that is all focused on how to network within the fashion industry, how to apply for employment within the fashion industry, and also learning the business skills that corporations are looking for millennials who are on their way into the industry. So it's not lecture based. There's definitely going to be some sit and you listen time in there for sure, but there's going to be a lot of hands-on real life experiences, such as going to a mall to do trend research or market research to really understand what it means to do that.
Great. And are you going to be facilitating, or is your team going to be helping you?
My team will help me, and we've also partnered with Lenium Staffing, which is a recruiting agency, and we've also partnered with Bella V Boutique. Lorena Nazario is the owner of that. She has more than 15 years experience in the fashion industry. And
Beautiful.
Also with Moxie, with Brandon Duye, who is the owner of Moxie, who is a personal assistant. So the way that we design and facilitate our programs is in partnership with individuals who are in the professional environment, currently doing the work and have the experience. So I'm not just looking up online what should be told. They're going to be able to bring in their information, which gives us a competitive edge, right?
Yeah.
They're able to bring in their expertise and also help us with connecting individuals to paid internships by the end of the program if they demonstrate that they're someone that we want to promote.
Yeah, that's excellent. What a great opportunity. And you know what? You created this from an idea.
Right.
That's brilliant. That's very millennial of you.
Thank you.
So, Carmen, I want to say thank you so much for being on Scene TV. It was an absolute pleasure to learn about your story and to learn more about you. And if you need help, reach out to me for Mission Accomplished Transition Services. I would be more than thrilled to help.
Awesome.
Okay?
And can I just give one more point?
Yes.
We are running a 45-day crowdfunding campaign to raise $20,000, which will help us with establishing scholarships for individuals who cannot afford to pay the tuition for our programs. It would decrease the tuition cost to them, and also to help us with raising funds so that we can enhance the usability of our website. We want it to be a resource as well as an informational platform.
Say your website one more time.
Our website is matransitionservices.org. And if you are interested in supporting us, investing your time, talent, or treasure, you can certainly contact me at 518-207-0209.
Again, beautiful person you are. Thank you so much for being on CNTV, Carmen Dungan.
Thank
Pleasure.
you. Thank you.